In the suffocating gloom of tangled jungles, under the merciless blaze of desert sands, or cloaked in the oppressive hush of midnight, something moves. No growl, no thunder of paws, no warning, just a flicker of scales, and a strike that kills with a chemistry so precise, it's almost unnatural. A single bite can dissolve flesh into ruin, seize nerves in a silent stranglehold, choke a heart mid-beat, or flood your veins with your own betraying blood. These aren't predators, they're executioners. Forged over eons, they are nature's perfect assassins, slithering nightmares that kill not with strength, but with venom that writes your end in seconds. Yet, not every venom tells the same story. Some whisper paralysis with a graze, others ignite agony that consumes from within. A few offer fleeting hours to plead for mercy. Most grant only minutes to beg for breath. This isn't a mere countdown. It's a plunge into the abyss of nature's most lethal designs, where every strike is a sentence and survival is a lie. Deep in the misty forests of Southeast Asia, where the canopy chokes out the sun and the ground is alive with whispers, something coils silently through the undergrowth. It doesn't need to hide. It doesn't need to flee. Because here, in this emerald labyrinth, it is the apex, the king cobra. Stretching up to 18 feet long, making it the longest venomous snake on Earth, the king cobra isn't just a snake. It's a living legend, a creature so feared that even other serpents flee in its wake. But don't let the title fool you. This monarch doesn't rule with brute force. It rules with fear, intellect, and one of the most unique venoms in the serpent world. Unlike vipers or kraits, the king cobra doesn't inject fast-acting death. Its venom is a slow, suffocating poison, a potent neurotoxin that shuts down communication between brain and body. Victims don't bleed out. They don't convulse. They simply stop. Breathing fades. Muscles go limp. The body shuts down piece by piece until the heart simply gives out. But here's the real terror. The king cobra doesn't need to kill immediately. It injects enough venom in a single bite to kill a full-grown elephant, or 20 men, yet often chooses to bite without injecting anything at all. It's strategic, controlled, a true king. Its domain stretches across India, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines. It glides through thick jungles and bamboo groves, head raised like a specter, its iconic hood flared wide, eyes locked onto prey with terrifying focus. It doesn't just bite and flee, it stalks, it watches, it plans, and it has a taste for other snakes. That's right, the king cobra is an ophidiophage, a snake eater. Pythons, kraits, rat snakes, if it slithers, it's on the menu. And when the king strikes, it does so with surgical precision, sinking inch-long fangs into the spine or head of its victim, delivering a death sentence laced with enough venom to drop a predator twice its size. But perhaps the most haunting part of all? Its hiss doesn't sound like a typical snake's. It growls, a low, guttural rumble more akin to a lion's snarl than a serpent's whisper. And if that doesn't make your blood run cold, nothing will. The king cobra is a symbol of royalty, yes, but it's also a ghost in the jungle. A cold-blooded executioner whose reign of terror isn't fueled by speed or numbers, but by sheer, unrelenting dominance. In the sunburnt wilderness of Australia, where the land itself seems built to kill, lies a master of deception. It doesn't chase. It doesn't coil in plain sight. It vanishes into the dust, the leaves, the stillness, becoming one with the earth. This is the Death Adder, a name that doesn't exaggerate. It promises death, and it delivers. With a stocky body and a triangular head, the Death Adder looks more like a viper than its fellow Australian elapids. It lies motionless for hours, hidden beneath leaf litter or shallow sand, waiting. But it's not just hiding, it's luring. At the end of its tail is a fleshy appendage, like a worm dancing in the dirt. It wriggles it ever so slightly, mimicking the movements of an easy meal. A lizard or small mammal approaches, greedy for what it thinks is prey, but in the blink of an eye, everything reverses. The death adder strikes faster than nearly any snake on Earth, in just 0.13 seconds. That's quicker than you can blink. Its long fangs pierce deep, and the venom rushes in like a chemical guillotine. It's a neurotoxin, aggressive and unforgiving. The venom assaults the nervous system, paralyzing the victim in moments. Within hours, if untreated, the lungs shut down. Victims suffocate while fully conscious, unable to draw a breath. Before antivenom was developed, more than half of all death adder bites were fatal. And here's the terrifying twist. This snake doesn't flee. Most snakes will bite and retreat, not the death adder. It often stays in place after striking, ready to strike again. Confident, lethal. Found throughout Australia and parts of Papua New Guinea, death adders blend seamlessly into their surroundings, making them a nightmare for anyone unlucky enough to step too close. They don't give warnings, they don't hiss, they simply wait and kill. Their cryptic camouflage makes them virtually invisible, even in plain sight. And with their ambush tactics and lightning-fast strikes, they turn the rules of survival upside down. You're not hunting the predator, you're walking into its trap. The death adder doesn't just rely on venom. It relies on your mistakes, your curiosity, your misstep. And by the time you realize it, it's already too late. It doesn't look like much at first, barely 2 feet long, light brown, dusty gray, speckled with earth tones. In the vast deserts and scrublands of Africa, the Middle East, and South Asia, it could be mistaken for just another stick on the ground. But when you hear the rasping, sandpaper hiss, like dry leaves grinding together, you know you've made a fatal mistake. Meet the Sawscaled Viper. Small, subtle, and one of the most dangerous snakes on the planet. Not because of size, not because of speed, but because of sheer numbers and a lethal cocktail of venom that kills more people than any other snake on Earth. This viper is named for the serrated, keeled scales along its sides. When threatened, it coils into a tight S shape and rubs its body together, producing that dry, unmistakable warning, a whisper of death. But here's the real horror. It doesn't always warn. Its venom is a violent mixture of hemotoxins and cytotoxins, designed not just to kill, but to tear apart. It destroys blood vessels, triggers internal bleeding, and turns flesh necrotic. Victims often bleed from their gums, their nose, even through their skin. Without treatment, it's a slow, agonizing death. And the Sawscaled Viper is quick. It strikes with little provocation and doesn't hesitate to deliver a full dose of venom. While it's not the most potent venom per drop, its aggressive nature, frequency of bites, and habitat overlap with dense human populations make it an unparalleled threat. In India alone, it's responsible for tens of thousands of snakebite deaths each year. It hides near homes, slips under debris, or curls beneath leaves. Silent, invisible, and terrifyingly close. But this snake doesn't care about being majestic. It doesn't flaunt a hood like the Cobra, or wear a crown like the king. The Saw-Scaled Viper is a grim reaper dressed in sand and dust. Efficient, brutal, and as far as humanity is concerned, the deadliest snake in terms of body count. It doesn't growl, it doesn't chase. It hisses like a whisper from the grave, and then it strikes. When twilight settles over the rice fields of South and Southeast Asia, something moves through the grass like a rumor. Quiet, unnoticed, and devastating. It's called Russell's Viper, a name that doesn't inspire fear until you've seen what it can do. This isn't some exotic, remote predator. It thrives in farmlands, urban edges, and village outskirts. And it's responsible for thousands of deaths and permanent injuries each year, particularly in India and Sri Lanka. But this viper doesn't rush its victims. It unravels them. At about 4 to 5 feet long, Russell's Viper isn't the largest snake on this list, but it doesn't need to be. Its venom is a biological nightmare, packed with hemotoxins, neurotoxins, and kidney-destroying compounds. A bite from this beast is like injecting a slow-burning fire that sets off every alarm in the human body. It begins with pain, intense, blinding pain at the bite site. Then come the symptoms: massive internal bleeding, vomiting, abdominal agony, and swelling so severe it can rupture skin. Victims often bleed from their eyes, gums, and internal organs. But the true horror lies in what comes next. Russell's viper venom can cause renal failure, triggering the shutdown of kidneys within days. It can also lead to disseminated intravascular coagulation, a cruel twist where your blood simultaneously clots and hemorrhages, as if your body can't decide whether to seal the wound or tear itself apart. In some cases, survivors are left blind, paralyzed, or permanently disfigured. The venom is that unforgiving. And to make matters worse, Russell's viper doesn't give you the courtesy of warning. No hood, no rattle, no hiss, just a sudden, violent strike, delivered with deadly precision. It blends easily into dry leaves and tall grass. Its pattern, beautiful in a morbid kind of way, perfectly camouflages it in the very fields where people walk barefoot, harvest crops, or rest in the evening cool. Many bites occur simply because someone didn't see it, and by the time they realize what's happened, the countdown has already begun. Russell's viper isn't just a killer. It's a destroyer of systems, a silent executioner that doesn't just stop your heart. It corrupts the very code of your biology. And it still doesn't break the top 5. In the darkness, there are creatures that seem to move like shadows. Hear them before you see them, if you're lucky. But the common krait? You might never know it's there until it's too late. Found primarily in South and Southeast Asia, the common krait is as notorious for its stealth as it is for its venom. Despite being a relatively small snake, only reaching about 3 to 5 feet in length, its venom is legendary. Unlike other venomous snakes, the common krait is a cold-blooded assassin, its bite delivering a neurotoxic venom that can cause death in less than 4 hours. But it isn't a quick killer like the Cobra or the Mamba. The venom is insidious. It paralyzes the victim's muscles, including the respiratory muscles, leading to suffocation. The kicker? There's often no pain at the bite site, no swelling, no blood. What happens instead is a creeping paralysis. Victims often feel fine for a while, maybe a little drowsy. But once the venom starts its cruel work, the effects spiral quickly. Weakness spreads through the limbs. The victim becomes unable to move, breathe, or even speak. If untreated, the poison shuts down the diaphragm, and the person suffocates silently in the span of hours. But here's the twist. The common krait is a nocturnal hunter. It hunts at night, seeking out small mammals, amphibians, and other reptiles. It's during the quiet hours of dusk and dawn that it's most active, when its sleek, glossy black or blue-gray body slithers almost unnoticed through tall grasses, leaf litter, and underbrush. Its body is so smooth, so seamless, it's a near-perfect camouflage in the dark. It's not a snake that seeks conflict. It's a snake that quietly goes about its business, leaving no trace. It doesn't rattle. It doesn't hiss. It's silent, smooth, and unassuming. But once it strikes to kill. Although it's responsible for far fewer deaths than some other snakes on this list, its quiet, elusive nature makes it one of the most terrifying. It lurks in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to take you out without a single sound. With venom so potent, it takes only a few milligrams to send you into respiratory failure. And in those moments, as your muscles fail, you'll realize, just like so many before you, that you never saw it coming. When the sun beats down on the dry, cracked earth of sub-Saharan Africa and the air is thick with the heat of midday, something moves at lightning speed through the brush. It's not a predator with claws or teeth. It's a serpent, and it's on a mission to kill. The black mamba. Famed for its blistering speed, its aggression, and its lethal venom, the black mamba is more than just a snake. It's an apex predator, a living weapon that strikes fear into anyone who crosses its path. The first thing you'll notice is the speed. The black mamba can travel up to 12 miles per hour. That's faster than most humans can run. It doesn't slither in the slow, methodical way most snakes do. It glides, its body undulating in smooth, quick bursts that make it nearly impossible to outrun. and when it strikes relentlessly. Unlike other snakes that may strike and retreat, the black mamba is known to strike multiple times in rapid succession, delivering a cocktail of venom so potent it can kill a person in less than 20 minutes if untreated. A single bite contains enough neurotoxin to bring down 10 to 15 adult humans. But it's not just the venom that makes the black mamba so deadly, it's the aggression. This snake doesn't hide. It doesn't wait for prey to wander into its path. When it feels threatened, it becomes a blur of rage, launching itself at anything that comes too close. It'll hiss, flatten its head, and charge with terrifying fury, striking again and again until the threat is eliminated. And despite its reputation, it doesn't always go for the kill. Black mambas tend to avoid humans unless they feel cornered. But should a human get too close, they're in a race against time. The venom attacks the nervous system, shutting down muscles and causing paralysis. The heart can stop. Respiratory failure follows. And then, it's just a matter of time. Its sleek, slender body, usually dark gray or olive brown with a hint of blue, blends seamlessly into the African landscape. And when it opens its mouth wide, the inside is a deathly shade of black, hence the name, the black mamba. But even this signature trait doesn't give its presence away until it's already too late. Black mambas are not just snakes. They are swift, unstoppable forces of nature, moving with purpose, precision, and a lethal efficiency that can turn the African savanna into a graveyard. Deep within the forests, salt marshes, and coastal regions of Australia, there's a snake that doesn't just blend in with its surroundings, it becomes one with them. Its distinctive tiger-like markings are a warning to all who cross its path. It's not a snake that needs to chase. The tiger snake is a calculated predator. With its bold yellow and black bands and smooth, agile body, the tiger snake looks deceptively beautiful, almost regal in its presence. But do not let that beauty fool you. This is a snake that is both stealthy and deadly. It has earned its place as one of Australia's most venomous and aggressive snakes, and it's responsible for a significant number of snakebite fatalities in the country. At 3 to 6 feet long, the tiger snake is no giant, but its venom is a potent blend of neurotoxins and coagulants that can cause paralysis, internal bleeding, and death within a matter of hours. A bite from this snake is not something to recover from easily. Victims often experience severe headaches, vomiting, paralysis, and difficulty breathing. The venom spreads like wildfire through the body, causing the blood to clot uncontrollably, leading to hemorrhaging. But it's not just its venom that makes the tiger snake so terrifying. It's its aggression. When threatened, the tiger snake is known for its boldness. Unlike many snakes that will flee from danger, the tiger snake will hold its ground. It hisses loudly, raises its head off the ground, and coils defensively. If cornered or provoked, it's not afraid to strike, multiple times in quick succession. Its prey includes everything from small mammals to birds, and even other reptiles. Its habitat stretches across swamps, grasslands, and even urban areas, making it a threat to both humans and animals alike. Though it doesn't actively seek out conflict, it's a snake that doesn't hesitate to defend itself with deadly force when it feels threatened. The venom it injects can shut down the body's nervous system within hours, and without immediate treatment, death becomes inevitable. And despite its fierce nature, the tiger snake is often hard to spot in its natural environment, using its camouflage to remain hidden in tall grasses and bushes. If you do manage to catch a glimpse, you'll often find it slithering silently under cover of night, making it all the more dangerous. If you ever find yourself in Australia's wild heartlands, remember the tiger snake is never far, silent, slithering, and ready to defend its territory with a venomous bite that could stop your heart before you even realize it's too late. There's a place in the world where the earth is scorched, the heat unbearable, and the air thick with the smell of salt water. And in this harsh, unforgiving environment, one predator reigns supreme, the coastal taipan, a snake that can reach over 10 feet long and move with blistering speed. The coastal taipan is more than just dangerous. It's a high-speed killing machine. Found along the coasts of northern and eastern Australia, This snake has earned its reputation as one of the deadliest creatures on the planet, thanks to a combination of speed, precision, and venom so potent that it can bring down large animals in a matter of minutes. The coastal taipan's venom is among the most toxic of any snake in the world. In just a single bite, it delivers a neurotoxic venom that can cause paralysis and death with alarming speed. The venom attacks the nervous system, shutting down the body's ability to breathe and causing extensive internal bleeding. Victims can suffocate in as little as half an hour, depending on the amount of venom injected and how quickly they receive treatment. But it's not just the venom that makes the coastal taipan such a fearsome predator. Its speed is legendary, able to move with such quickness that it can outpace most potential threats. The snake strikes so fast that it's practically a blur, launching itself toward its target with such precision and power that escape is nearly impossible. This snake doesn't sit and wait for prey. It actively hunts, relying on its speed to ambush small mammals, birds, and reptiles. The coastal taipan's hunting strategy is simple. Strike fast, strike hard, and don't give the victim a chance to escape. And yet, despite its formidable hunting abilities, the coastal taipan is incredibly shy and will often avoid humans unless threatened. But should you encounter one in the wild, you'll quickly realize that being close to this snake is like being 1 second away from death. The coastal taipan is a snake that doesn't hesitate. It doesn't wait. It is, quite simply, death on 2 legs. Faster than a lightning bolt, more toxic than you can imagine, and ready to deliver its lethal blow with terrifying speed. If you've ever heard the saying, "The most dangerous creatures are the ones you never see coming," you're thinking about the eastern brown snake. With its light tan or brown body and characteristic sleek, slender frame, the eastern brown snake blends effortlessly into the environment, often going unnoticed until it's too late. Native to Australia, this snake is not just deadly, it is consistent. In fact, it is responsible for more snakebite fatalities in Australia than any other species. The eastern brown snake's venom is as merciless as its strike is fast. A single bite can inject enough neurotoxins and coagulants to shut down your body's organs in hours. The neurotoxins cause paralysis, and the venom disrupts blood clotting, leading to massive internal bleeding. The heart can stop, the lungs can fail, and it can all happen with astonishing speed. Victims may be dead in less than an hour, if not treated. But what makes the eastern brown snake truly terrifying isn't just its venom, it's how it delivers it. It's lightning fast. A strike from an eastern brown snake can happen in the blink of an eye, and it can deliver multiple strikes in quick succession. This snake doesn't waste time. If it decides you're a threat, or worse, prey, it will strike and strike, with an intensity that leaves almost no chance of survival if you're not careful. Eastern browns are also incredibly aggressive. Unlike many other snakes, which will slither away if given the chance, the eastern brown is more than willing to defend itself or go on the attack. It raises its head off the ground, hisses, and strikes without hesitation. It doesn't wait for you to move. It moves first, delivering a fatal blow before you've even processed what happened. And here's the worst part. These snakes are found everywhere, in forests, grasslands, deserts, and even suburban backyards. They'll hide in long grass, near rocks, or even under homes, where they can surprise you at any given moment. Their habit of blending into the environment makes them even more deadly, as it's easy to walk right into their strike zone without even realizing it. The eastern brown snake is the epitome of a silent predator. It doesn't need to chase its prey. It doesn't need to warn you. It's quiet, it's fast, and it's efficient. One moment you're fine, and the next, you're fighting for your life against one of the deadliest snakes on Earth. Imagine a snake so deadly that one bite could kill hundreds of people. Now, imagine that snake living in a remote, barren, inhospitable part of the world, waiting, silent, still, and calculating. You could be standing right next to it, and you wouldn't even know it's there. That's the Inland Taipan, a creature so terrifying it has earned the title of the world's most venomous snake. Located deep in the heart of Australia's outback, the Inland Taipan is a master of stealth, blending into the dry, desolate earth as if it were part of the landscape itself. Its body is a dark olive brown, camouflaged perfectly against the dirt and rocks. A predator that doesn't just hunt, it waits for the perfect moment to deliver a lethal blow. Its venom is so powerful that just a few milligrams can kill an entire human population. One bite from this serpent can kill 100 adult men. The venom is so toxic, it's 12 times more potent than that of the king cobra, and the effects are swift and horrific. You see, when the Inland Taipan strikes, it's not just a bite, it's a death sentence. The venom courses through the bloodstream, attacking the nervous system, causing paralysis so severe that victims can't even move to scream. Their muscles lock up, and respiratory failure sets in. The body becomes paralyzed, and the victim's lungs shut down, suffocating them to death, usually in less than 45 minutes. And that's the terrifying thing. The Inland Taipan doesn't just kill, it does it so quickly, so mercilessly, that there's barely time to react. 1 second, you're alive. The next, you're paralyzed, fighting for breath as the poison takes hold of your body, suffocating you in complete silence. But here's the chilling part. Despite its unbelievable lethality, the Inland Taipan is incredibly rare. It slithers quietly across the desert scrublands, staying far away from human contact. Its remoteness means that few people ever come into its path, and fewer still live to tell the tale. In fact, there are only a handful of documented human fatalities, but the sheer potential for devastation is what makes it so horrifying. This is the ultimate snake, the perfect predator, the embodiment of death itself. There is no hissing warning, no shaking tail, no sounds of warning. It doesn't announce its presence because it doesn't need to. By the time you realize it's too late, the venom has already done its work. Silent, swift, and deadlier than anything else on this planet. The Inland Taipan doesn't just kill. It leaves nothing but a memory, a shadow, an irrevocable end. So next time you're in the wild, know this: some creatures are best left undisturbed. Because if you cross paths with the Inland Taipan, you won't even know it was there until it's already too late. And that's it. The top 10 venomous snakes. From the silent, stealthy strike of the Inland Taipan to the lightning-fast aggression of the black Mamba, we've explored the world's deadliest serpents. Each one brings its own special kind of terror, and each one proves just how small we are in the face of nature's most lethal creations. But remember, the real danger is often the one you don't see coming.